Good evening. This is Cyber Rant. I'm your host, Mr. Rant. And today we're going to be talking about self-care and avoiding burnout. Now, there are definitely times in tech and cybersecurity where you will be working long hours, maybe even a weekend or so, and you have very few downtime in order to really rest and recuperate. During those moments, just rest. These self-care techniques we're going to be going into is for every other time when it's not chaotic. Now, you've probably seen all over social media, YouTube, TikTok, about all these self-care techniques. We're going to go through a few of them, and we're going to explain how effective they actually are. I've done a few of these myself, and I will say they sound preachy, but they work. So let's get into it. So right off the bat, exercise, and in any form. And I strongly agree with this technique for self, help or anything to avoid burnouts because it really does work. It sounds preachy, but any regular exercise plan will do tremendous wonders for yourself. First off, it's going to improve your mood. You're going to have self confidence. You're going to have reduced stress just by regularly working out or doing any kind of physical activity. It doesn't have to be weightlifting or going to the gym. It could just going for a run or rock climbing or playing some sports with some friends or even pickleball. Now that everyone loves doing pickleball, the cult that it is, but any kind of moving around your body is going to help you out in the long run. There are definitely been days where I've just had a very bad day and I was drained and I needed to do something, anything in order to take my mind off of the terribleness of my day. So I went to the gym and I did something that was moderately challenging for my body. But when I overcame it and I left the gym, I felt better than how the day was before I went to the gym. And I do this in the morning now so that way I can just feel amazing when I go into work. I'm already in a better mood than some of the people who are there with me. So, for these reasons, I strongly advocate doing any kind of physical activity so long as you are, being safe about it and you actually enjoy doing it. So, let's get on to the next technique. Next up is journaling, and I have been pleasantly surprised of how effective journaling has been for my life. Now, I use a few different journals. If only one works for you, great. I'm glad to hear that. But for me, I need a daily goals journal just in order to break down what I'm trying to get done today and the things I know I need to get done today. Then I have a weekly goal journal, which is just cataloging what's going on throughout the week, like its own little calendar, and then adding in specific trackers of what I'm trying to continue to do so that way I don't forget anything. And then I have my emotional journal, which sounds crazy and sounds preachy, but it does work. Any day that I feel overwhelmed with anxiety or emotions, I write it down first so I can name what exactly is going on. So that way I don't, attack one of my friends or attack any family members based upon how I'm feeling. I've written it down now and I've given it a name, which honestly works amazing. There are a lot of other benefits with journaling, including just basic self reflection about what's going on and where you're going in your life. And especially after burnout or during the precipice of burnout, you want to be able to identify what is going on and why you feel the way you feel. Or like, why was today specifically a bad day for you? So that way you can at least name the problem and then find a way to deal with it. Now let's move on to our third technique. Next up on our list is meditation. Now, I only recently started meditating a few weeks ago, but I can honestly say it's been very helpful. There are a lot of different benefits with meditation, and some of them include improving your focus, reducing stress and controlling your anxiety, better sleep, and improving your self image by becoming more self aware. I was shocked about how much better sleep I've been getting since I started meditating. Plus, all my side projects that I've been working on, whenever I start working on them after I meditated, it's a fresh brain or a fresh mind in order to say, oh, I didn't think I could do this, but I could actually can. I don't have any lingering anxieties or doubts or emotions from a hard day of work. They are all gone, and I can just focus on what I'm trying to accomplish in my personal life. Everyone has different techniques. You can research them all. Personally, what I have found to be really helpful is to simply just listen to a Spotify soundtrack listen to the music, focus on your breathing, and let every thought go in and then go out by only focusing on what you're listening and how you're breathing. Now, let's go on to the next one because this one should be a no brainer, but a lot of people struggle with this. Next on the list should be a no brainer, but surprisingly, people still struggle with this, and that's just having a healthy hygiene and healthy diet. Now, when I say diet, I only mean cooking your own home cooked meals that will make you feel good throughout the rest of the day, not eating fast food because that you're just throwing money away. And it's never going to actually make you feel good throughout the entire day. It's going to feel good when you eat it, but really you're going to feel worse off later because you have eaten processed food that is really not great for you. And when I say healthy hygiene, I mean really taking care of yourself, getting freshened up and ready for the day. Because even if you're having a bad day, you feel as though you're about to burn out, at least you've taken care of yourself and you look great and you feel great. Because there is a correlation to dressing up for yourself, dressing up to say, I am here and I'm going to take on the day. Because once you do at least that little bit, you're going to find that, all right, today was bad, but I still feel okay. I still feel good to at least get to the next day and try to make it a better one. So, with that, we're going to talk about one more technique, and it's a pretty important one that everyone should try to get early on. Now, the last one is a two for one. It is connecting with friends and family and setting boundaries, and they kind of go hand in hand. For one, setting boundaries, you need to set them early on with your boss. If a project's getting too much to handle, or if they're trying to add another project onto your workload, you need to set a boundary and say, I need to at least have support in order to take on two projects at the same time, or I need to say no to this project for the time being so I can focus on this one. And then when it comes to friends and family, you need to set the boundary and say, I have family coming in here. I need to be there for them, or I need to see them, or I'm going to my son's Little League game, or I'm going to my daughter's recital. These things I need to be there because it is important to me. And even a date night, having these connections and making meaningful human lifelong conversations and connections are incredibly important because not only you're reaching out to support from your friends and family for when days are going bad and you just need help, you'll be able to hang out with them. You'll be able to at least be happier than when the day ended, or be happier than how you've been feeling for a long time. You're meeting people who love and cherish you and light up their eyes when they see you, and you do the same for them. It's important to have these things because it's what makes us human. And it helps us for the next day, for the next bad day when we feel the burnout coming on to us, to know I have a support team. They're here for me no matter how much I may hate the situation right now or how much I do not want to be here. I can see them and I can say, I'm here. Can I give more to you, or can I lean in and offer a little bit of support during this really bad time in my life? And if they really are really good friends and really good family and they really are there for you, then they're going to be there for you and they're going to help you out no matter what. Now, all of these self care techniques and self care topics, they all sound very preachy, but it's preachy because they work. I've said it 1,000 times in this video, but I'll keep saying it. And all these techniques, they're not the cure all in order to stop a burnout from happening, but they're tools for you to use for whenever the burnout is coming on. For whenever you feel like things are going bad places, try one of these things out. Try to use these things to get to a level of okay, because being okay is not something that we flip a switch on and say, all right, I am okay now. It's an active habit to get to that point of saying, I am okay. So, guys, these tools, these techniques are amazing to help you to get to the point to where you're okay enough to where you can tackle the next day until you finally reach that point where it's like, all right, we are now in an easy moment. Life is going to get better. I can continue working my personal life. These tools are amazing to use in consistency, so that way you can continuously work into making it a habit to be okay, to be in that point where while things are crazy at work or in my personal life, I'm doing these things and I can now emotionally and mentally take on the challenges that my life is throwing in my face right now. I am okay to do that. Some people, if you prefer in order to, drink wine or have a bubble bath and that works for you, great. Continue doing that. Disregard this video. But for those who really have a hard time in order to do that, you might want to try one of these out. For me, my life has been game changing since I've done these things. I didn't really think these things really worked, but now that I've since started trying these things, I can honestly say my life is for the better. I really never really thought that these self-help books would be amazing, or these self-help techniques either. They really do work, guys. I would suggest giving it a try. Until then, next time.